morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Very happy to have you here. Welcome back to another vlog. So we're gonna keep this intro short. Now, before you say, why are you in your PJs? It is currently 9 o'clock in the morning and I am not in my PJs because I've been lazy today. I've actually gotten a lot done, but they are things that I could have done in my PJs. So obviously gotten up this morning at about 5:30 and I did my steps. So I did 3,000 steps on my little walking pad, watching some Netflix, preparing some posts for the day, and just some posts about a challenge I'm going to be running in January. So make sure you go check out my Instagram. It is a photo shoot prep challenge. Well, not a challenge, but I am taking on 4 people, 4 amazing individuals for a photo shoot prep. So make sure you go check out my Instagram. I will pop it there and you can have a look. And obviously the faster you join, the better, because these spaces are likely to fill up. And yeah, I've also done all of my client check-ins for the morning. I do have a little bit more client work when I get back home later, but those are not priority as such that they need to be done first thing in the morning. Obviously client check-ins are priority, so I've knocked all of those out and I've just put a little bit of a face on. I was going to film this morning, like my morning routine and all of that, but A, you've already seen it, and B, I'm going to be honest, I looked rough this morning. So I wasn't really in the mood to be in the front of a camera. But as I said, everything I have done today could have been done in PJs. I am very comfortable with my clients and they do not mind me being in my PJs. The only time I get out of them is for like training analysis, when I actually need to show my body, or posing check-ins where I need to actually demonstrate. Then I might get out of my PJs. But yeah, I've also, from today, I have started wearing my waist trainer again because I feel like my midsection has slipped a little bit, especially with the amount of food that I'm on. But this actually brings me into the topic of this video. So there's 2 things I want to cover in this week's video. A little bit more educational. We are done with the cozy vlogs. We are done with the self-care vlogs. And it's really time to put the head down and embrace the single life and put all of that energy into myself and into improving. And this is what I'm encouraging everybody to do right now. Work on the best version of yourself. Finish 2024 strong and start 2025 even stronger, because we've got like 4 or 5 weeks left. So let's make the most of them. By the way, today is the 30th of November. So tomorrow is officially Christmas. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, in this video, I want to talk you through not just what I'm doing, but things that will benefit you in optimizing your off season, especially when, or your bulk, because it's winter arc season. I know a lot of you are bulking, and this is mainly what I want to talk about. All you're seeing online these days is fat loss tips, fat loss whatever, fat loss guides, how to lose weight, what to eat to lose weight, but like a lot of people are actually in growth phases, in bulks, winter arcs, by the way, that's the lights. In winter arcs, bulks, and all of that, and all those fat loss tips are literally of zero benefit, but there's not enough information out there about how to actually make your bulk that little bit easier, make it more productive. So this is what I want to talk about in this video, mainly surrounding food. So obviously when you get to a point in the off season, food can get high. Just like food can get really low in a diet, food can get super high in a growth phase if your body is responding to it very well. But this is not easy either, and I always thought I'm a bottomless pit. Turns out I'm not. Turns out I have my limits. And I've gotten to the point now, especially on my leg day sessions, which is today, where food is over 3,000 calories. I'm eating like 3,200 calories. And some of the foods are just really, really hard to get down. So today I want to show you and share with you just a couple of tips and tricks that I have been implementing, that my clients implement when food gets high, to A, make it easier to get down, B, make it easier on your digestive system, but also to keep you in shape, because we don't want to get fat in the off season. That is not the purpose of an off season. That is not the purpose of a bulk. You do not want to get fat. So today I'm going to show you how to not get fat. But mainly it's how to keep your midsection that little bit tighter as well. Because obviously if you are sticking to the calories and macros your coach is giving you, if you're not going ham with off-plan meals, you're not going to get fat. But that being said, our midsection can take a little bit of a hit, which mine certainly has. Now, there has been a lot of life stressors involved If you know, you know, which play part in digestion and obviously all of that. But that being said, with the volume of food that I'm eating, it's a lot harder to keep that midsection tighter. So we are going to talk today about what food swaps you can make to make it that little bit easier to get all the food in, but not neglecting your micronutrients, because this is also really important. You want to stay healthy in the off season. So you see a lot of people, they instantly cut out things like fruit and veg because they are higher volume, but that's not what you want to be doing. You want to make sure you are healthy, to thrive in the off season, to build muscle, but also when you enter a diet, you want to make sure you're at your healthiest point to enter a deficit. Because obviously health markers do go down when you diet. So if you already start with low markers, you're just going to drive your health and yourself into the absolute ground. But yeah, so that is going to be the topic of this video. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and let's get into it. Another thing I'm going to talk about is just body image. Because I've been struggling a little bit lately, so that's something I'm going to get into a little bit later today. So first, I'm going to start sharing with you some of my tips and tricks that I implement to make my food easier to get down, but still making sure I'm eating nutritious meals throughout the day, fueling the gains. But yeah, so I've already had breakfast today. So I'm not going to show you that, obviously. I had cream of rice. It's actually my smallest meal of the day. So I didn't make any food swaps to it. It was just 60 grams of cream of rice, 30 grams of whey, and 150 grams of strawberries. So, and 20 grams of nut butter. So that was it. Yeah, so I'm not going to show you that. That's really easy to get down. There will be more cream of rice involved later anyway, so we will be doing a bit of taste testing today as well. I've got a new cream of rice, I've got a new protein powder, so we're going to do a little bit of taste testing. But before I actually show you, because my next meal is actually going to be my pre-workout meal, we are heading to the gym for a big ass leg session. I am in the mood to absolutely destroy myself today. I've woken up in a good mood. I woke up really tired, but then I started feeling a lot better once coffee number 2 hit. I'm in the mood to destroy myself today, so that's what I'm gonna do. But obviously I need to make sure I am fueled for my session. So that being said, my pre-workout meal is a very, very large. So before I even dive into what I'm having for that meal, I know I'm saying we want to base most of our foods around whole foods, but the thing is, if you're only eating whole foods when your food is that high, you're going to massively struggle to eat all of that food, causing you to probably undereat every now and then, and that's obviously going to take you out of the calorie surplus that you're in, and it's not going to benefit your progress. In other terms, when you're eating that high of volume of food from whole foods alone, and by whole foods I mean things like fruit, veg, meat, potatoes, rice cakes, all of that kind of thing. Okay, rice cakes maybe not a whole food. Rice, let's stick to rice, potato. Just the volume of it will put a lot of stress on your digestive system. You're going to be full all the time, especially if you're eating more than 4 or 5 meals a day, which I eat 6. And I want to make sure my meals are digested before I have another meal. So if I'm having a large volume of just whole foods, it's going to be really hard to get all that food down. But as I said, I don't want to be sacrificing the fruit and the veg in the meals. So I still have those as they are per my plan, anywhere from 100 to 200 grams per meal. But I am making a little bit of substitutions in terms, mainly my carbohydrate sources. So, you know, swapping my rice to maybe something else, or swapping my potatoes to something else, or adding or reducing the volume of it, reducing the amount, and then substituting the remainder with other things. And this is what I'm going to show you in this video today. So my pre-workout meal is quite large. It is 100 grams of rice raw weight. So I eat jasmine rice, which, you know, it's fluffy. It's a lot of volume. I can't eat that before training, because it just puts a lot of stress on my digestive system. I end up cramping in my session. I'd have to eat it like 2 hours before training to fully digest that, and I don't have time to do that. So what I do is, on days that I go to work, I usually have about, let me think, like 75 grams of rice, which is a lot easier to get down, and it's what I'm used to because I've been having that for weeks. And the remainder I actually substitute with honey. So I put in 25 grams of honey, and it makes my rice super sweet because I have it with nut butter. So I love that combo. I love the rice honey nut butter combo. So obviously honey is just high in calories, but so little volume, and it's really not hard to eat. I also have 100 grams of berries with that meal, but I substitute that for about 40-50 grams of banana. Lower volume, easier to get down. Another thing I have in there is 100 grams of prawns, which I just think is way too much volume for me before training again, but I still want to make sure I'm getting that healthy protein source in. So I have 60 grams of chicken instead, which is a very small amount when you think about it. And then yeah, just adding in fats into that meal in the form of nut butter or dark chocolate, which obviously is super easy to eat, and I could literally eat a whole jar if I could. So yeah, but today, because I'm training, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat my pre-workout meal, and I'm literally gonna go change, do my hair, and go straight to the gym. So I'm going to have something that's even lower volume. So let me just grab it and show you, because I've actually been craving it for a while now, and I know how easy it is to digest. Something you'll see again in this video, bread. Bread will be your best friend, because you don't get that much bread for the calories, and you can eat a lot of bread. Bread is super easy to eat, especially when toasted, because it's easier to digest. But I'm not just having bread for this meal, because I'm going to be having bread later. I'm going to have something I've been really craving, and that is cinnamon raisin bagels. Now, one of these bagels is not enough to match the macros of 100 grams of rice, obviously, and 2 of them is too much. So what I've done is I've added in extra banana. So I think I have I'll figure it out. I have it in my sheets. It's 50 or 60 grams of banana, which I'm going to put on top of my bagel. Then I'm still going to have the chicken on the side. I'm going to have the nut butter on the side, or on the bagel. But since I needed to make up the rest of the carbs in this meal, instead of just going in with nut butter, I'm going to also add in Biscoff, because a lot of people think Biscoff is a fat. It's mainly carbs. Like, yes, there's a good bit of fat in there. There's 36 grams of fat in there, but there's also 58 grams of carbs per 100 grams. So it's actually more of a carb spread than a fat spread. So that's going to be my pre-workout meal today. And obviously it's going to be a lot easier to eat. 100 grams of rice, which is literally a whole bowl of rice, compared to one of these toasted bagels, I'll be ready to train in about 45 minutes, which is amazing. And I know bread, it just digests super well with me as well. So obviously, if it doesn't digest well, don't eat it, because you can only use the food in this session that you can digest. Write that down. Anyway, I'm going to put this together. I'm also going to make my intra workout, which is just creatine, glutamine, carbs, and then another small bottle of EAAs that I have halfway through the session. Today is leg day, and I am actually going to bring you to the gym today. I might not film the whole session, but I will film my staple exercises. I'm going a bit earlier than I usually do, so the gym shouldn't be as busy. But yeah, I've been chatting for 10 minutes now, so I'm going to put this together. I am going to show you what the finished product looked like. I'm going to put myself together, do my hair, put on some clothes, because I can't go to the gym like this. And I will then see you after that in the gym. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, let's go. And voila, here we have it. One side with almond butter, one side with Biscoff, banana, and 60 grams of chicken. There was 2 pieces there, 2 small pieces, but I nibbled on one while I was waiting for the bagel to toast. And obviously we cannot forget pink salt, because A, we want to have a good balance of electrolytes. You need your sodium, especially if you're eating carbohydrates. With that, make sure you are drinking plenty of water, so you're not holding on to water for eating a lot of sodium, but also pumps. Salt is really good for the pump. If you look at any pump product, it will have sodium in there. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this. This should digest super quickly, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. managed to film most of this. Oh my god. It's very windy outside. I just about managed to film most of the session. It was actually a really good session. I took my time with it today. I felt like I needed a lot of rest in between sets, but this was my first session, first rotation of this session. After my deload that I wasn't going like reps and reserve and stuff, that I was able to actually push, and my numbers are pretty much back to what they were pre-deload. So I'll be very excited to start increasing on those numbers again. Back to the 40 kgs with the RDL, which is savage. But yeah, my camera wasn't fully charged when I went into the gym, so I was a bit worried I wouldn't get it all, but I got the majority of it. Let me just check if you're charging. Yeah, no, you're not. I don't know if you are. I think you're charged. You're not charging. Camera wasn't charging because I didn't press the plug. But yeah, really good session. Really happy with it, and I'm excited to keep improving on it because I have 6 weeks of this improvement phase left, something like that, between 5 and 6. I'll need to double check. So it's really the last chance to make those improvements, and I'm glad I didn't get sick this week because that would put me back another week. I've already missed 2 weeks because of the gym, from the gym, because of various reasons. First a deload, and then I had to miss a week, pretty much, well, 5 days. But you heard that in the previous vlogs. And I was feeling a little bit under the weather this week at the start of the week, and I was very worried I'd get full on sick, but I didn't. So yeah, so very happy. Time to eat. So what are we eating? We are eating cream of rice, and we are eating protein powder, and a little hack. My room spray is out of spray. It's okay, I bought another one yesterday. Another little hack, and I did say I try not to rely on processed foods. And I don't rely on them, but I use them as a tool to help me when the volume of food is a little high. So I'm supposed to have 120 grams of cream of rice. That's a lot. 150 grams of strawberries. Not a lot, but with the amount of cream of rice, it is a lot of volume. And 30 grams of whey, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to have my cream of rice, but I'm going to have a little bit less of it. And I'm going to substitute the rest with cereal. Now, I could have a bowl of delicious sugary cereal, but I don't want to do that because I still want to somewhat nourish my body with something that's a little bit less processed. I know cream of rice is processed, but still there's no sugar in it and added fats. So it's a lot more of a cleaner carb source, and I still want to have it because I want this meal to kind of digest a little bit slower, because it's going to be about 3 hours until I eat again. So we're going to go in with 85 grams of cream of rice. We're going to go in with chocolate peanut butter from Trained by JP, which is my favorite flavor. So it's not really a taste test because I know what this tastes like, but I have missed it so much. It's my favorite flavor, but sometimes I just need a break from it. So by the way, my core supplements, code Olivia, will save you 10%. And yeah, chocolate peanut butter cup, which, you know, I love Reese's. So I'm going to have 85 grams of that. I'm going to go in with 40 grams of this because apart from just being able to eat this a little bit easier, I just love a change in texture. I love a bit of crunch in my food, so this just serves like a crunchy topping. We are then going in with 30 grams of whey, and it's a brand new protein powder that I just got. You know, I normally just opt for isolates, but I'm trying to save a bit of money right now. This whey digests really well, even though it's not an isolate, because I've had it in the past. I've had this brand in the past in a different flavor, and it digested super well. And I've also had it this morning, not gonna lie, had it this morning, and it digested perfectly. So everyone is raving about this. Cookie dough perform whey. They also came out with a s'mores flavor, which will probably be my next buy, but for now I kind of wish I got the 1 kilo tub, not the 2 kilo, because this will have to last me over a month now. And being completely honest, it's good, but it's overhyped. It tastes great, but if I hear another person saying this tastes like Ben & Jerry's, I'm actually going to punch them in the face because it does not. So it's good. It's really, really good. Like cookie dough flavor. Yeah, it is cookie dough flavor. But it doesn't taste like Ben & Jerry's, and that's what I was expecting. So this is why I think I'm a bit let down. But if you're just going for a cookie dough flavor, yeah, go for it. It's still really, really good. Texture is 10 out of 10, as always with the Perform Ways. And do you know what? It is a nice change because I just needed to cleanse my palate a little bit. And then instead of the 150 grams of strawberries, I'm going to have 50 grams of strawberries and 40 grams of banana. So, yeah. Let's make it. Let's show you. I'm not going to show you how I make cream of rice because you see me making it all the damn time. You know how I make it by now. And just for reference, so it's not super crazy volume, but it's still nice and fluffy, I usually go 1 part cream of rice and 4 parts water. So like, let's say you have 50 grams, 200 mils of water. My sincerest apologies. It's been a good few hours. It is 5 p.m. right now. I have had another meal, but it wasn't exciting. This is why I didn't show you, and I just cracked on with work. So I cleaned the whole apartment, as any Polish woman does on a Saturday, and I've also spent a little bit of time trying to make my life easier tomorrow, and also making my off-season life easier tomorrow. Cooking my staples. So I have cooked up some rice for a couple of days, I think 4 days. I have cooked potatoes for 3 days. I have put my fruit in like vacuum boxes, and I also have some beef still cooking. I have got my chicken defrosting that I'm going to cook tomorrow morning, and this will make my life a lot easier over the next couple of days when I'm meal prepping. So I'll be meal prepping tomorrow morning for work on Monday, Tuesday probably. So everything is cooked. I just have to put meals together. I'm just gonna cook fresh veg tomorrow, obviously the chicken, because I forgot to take it out earlier. I have also portioned out my bread for a couple of days. So this is what I do. I buy a loaf of sourdough bread from the little fresh bakery, and then I will portion it out into baggies. So I usually keep 3 days out, and then the rest goes in the freezer for the whole week. Now, I didn't have enough to have for the weekend, so I actually just picked up some sourdough rolls, which I'm actually going to have for my next meal. And to be honest, if you're somebody that's on, let me turn off the fan. If you're somebody that's on a lot of bread, the rolls are going to be the better option, because just like bagels, they're a lot more dense. On training days, I actually normally don't have that much bread. It's only 75 grams, so it's like 2 thin slices. But rest days have like 100, so yeah, that's a lot more bread. So rolls are a good option. But yeah, I just didn't have enough, and I wasn't gonna buy another loaf just to have another 2 days of bread. So I actually just picked them up when I was grocery shopping yesterday because I knew I wouldn't have enough. But it actually makes this meal a lot easier to get down because it's gonna be a lot less volume of bread. Because I'm actually not hungry, but it is time to make my next meal, because my next meal is chicken, potato, and sourdough. So it's like having a sandwich with chicken and veg and fries on the side. So this is going to be my next tip for you, because obviously potatoes are quite a high volume food. You get a lot of it for little calories, and on a leg day I have like 300 gram portions, or 200 and 300, so I usually do 250, or however, I just grab half. But if I was to have them just boiled like that, it is a lot of volume. I did it once and I regretted it instantly, especially because it was meal prepped and cold and not nice. So what I do is I pre-boil them for like 8 minutes, depending how much I'm making. And then I throw them. So look, this is what they look like when they're just boiled. And then this is what they look like when they're air fried after. So they literally half in size. So that way it's a lot easier to eat them, and they're actually a lot more enjoyable as well. I put the peri-peri seasoning on it, like the Nando's peri salt, and they are absolutely delicious. So I'm going to put that meal together now. So it's going to be 100 grams of chicken, the sourdough roll that I do need to weigh out because of 85 grams today, because I took a little carbs from a different meal. I think it was pre-workout actually, because that bagel was too small in the end. So I just put an extra 10 grams of sourdough into this meal. I'm also going to have 100 grams of pineapple with this meal, but I'm just going to weigh that out after because it's still frozen. So I'm just going to weigh it up, pop in the microwave, defrost it real quick. and 50 grams of veg. So for this meal, I don't generally meal prep my veg. Like for my last meal, I had mushrooms, peppers, and green peas that I had meal prepped in the fridge. And for this meal, I do more like fresh veg because I'm Polish. I love sandwiches with like fresh veg, so fresh tomato, fresh peppers. So that's what I usually do for this meal. I do peppers, tomatoes, sometimes throw in a mushroom because I am going to toast the bread, because like I said, it's a lot easier to digest when it is toasted. Like for reference today, I'm not doing too bad. I've had 4 meals, so obviously 2 left, this meal and another meal. I've had, let me think, 3, 4, 5. I'm on my 6th liter of water. And I know I'm not super tight, but considering how much food I had, how much water I've had, I'm doing really well. I'm not in pain. That is the main thing. And I'm not starving. I'm not hungry, but I can eat, which is fab. So I'm going to put that meal together. I will show it to you. And then I'm going to crack on with the rest of today because it's 5 p.m. I still have a training plan to update. I have inquiries to reply to. One of my ex-clients is actually coming back to the team, so welcome back. So I need to get in touch with her and schedule another consult call. Even though I know her very well, a lot has happened between the time we worked together a couple of months back and now. So obviously I do just want to get on a call with her and, you know, see where she's at right now, see exactly where she wants to go and how I can be of help. And I also have to wash my hair and plan tomorrow. So still a lot of work to do, but plenty of time. I don't have to be in bed super early today because tomorrow I have a day off for once. I have the first Sunday off in a very long time because they cancelled overtime. So yeah, so I don't have to be in bed super early, so I still have plenty of time. It's just that my hair takes an hour to wash, so that's not the so fun part. But I'm just gonna leave all of this out as well. This just needs to cool. The fruit can go in the fridge. And to be honest, I'm actually really bang on time with meals. I usually have meal 5 around 5:30/6, and it is 5:15 right now. So I'll be having it about 5:30, which is perfect. And then have my last meal probably about 8:30 or whenever I finish washing my hair, because that needs to be done first. So yeah, so that's that. Another thing I didn't mention, and I was going to, another great, I hope you can hear me, another great thing to have, oh, where did I put it? Have with your meals in the off season, especially when your intake of carbohydrates is that little bit higher, is a good glucose disposal agent, a good GDA, a good digestive aid. I take the Train by JP Ensure, my core, code Olivia. And I take this with meal 1, my pre-workout meal, and my last meal of the day. So that really just helps to shift the carbs to the right places. Another good one is Digest Pharma Pro that I don't have anymore. I used to. I stick with off-plan meals especially, just for that little bit of a boost in digestion. I also take 25 grams of glutamine on training day. I also have 20 ml of apple cider vinegar every morning. So that is all just plain card as well. So yeah, let's make some food, sit down for a couple of minutes, and keep cracking with everything. It is what it is, that's the life. And voila, here we have it. Let me show you. We've got my bread, we've got peppers, tomatoes, and a little bit of lighter than light mayo and mustard on the bread. Then I've got my chicken on top with some sugar-free ketchup, a bit more sugar-free ketchup, and my potatoes. And I did say I also have pineapple with this meal, but I'm just going to have it after. Normally I have it actually before my meal because pineapple has all those digestive purposes. Sorry, my hands are disgusting, I was cleaning. So it's actually really beneficial to eat it beforehand because it's going to release those digestive enzymes to help you digest the meal you're about to eat, especially if it's carb heavy. Another thing, I am quite thirsty and I did chug a little bit of water before the meal, but I definitely suggest not drinking with your meals. Only drink in between your meals, because if you drink water whilst you're eating, it's going to dilute the acids in your stomach and you're not going to digest the meal as efficiently. So yeah, so that's my little tip for you as well. So plenty of off-season tips coming up. I was going to talk to you a little bit about like body image and stuff like that because I did say it took a hit. But honestly, today is just so busy that I think I'm going to sit down tomorrow and talk about it. I'm also checking in tomorrow so I can insert some check-in photos. So I'll do that. but it will obviously still be a part of this vlog, but I will sit down to it tomorrow. And one more thing I was going to say, I don't know if I've said it already, I love bread. I could literally eat bread for every meal of the day and be perfectly fine with it. Sweet, savoury, whatever it may be. On a rest day, which I will take you through one of the days, because I have 100 grams of sourdough in my breakfast meal, so it's like eggs and sourdough and veg. So what I do is I take a little bit of avocado out of a different meal, put it on the bread, but I have a lot more fats to play with, so I also take out 7 grams of almond butter and put it on one of my slices as well. I love bread and almond butter or peanut butter, whatever butter. I love butter, all the butters. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to eat this and I'm going to get cracking with work. Going to update that training plan, get back to clients, and then go wash my hair. And then I will see you at meal number 6. Now, it is 8:05, which is actually the earliest that I have eaten my last meal in a very long time. Just because life has been very busy with onboarding clients and things like that. As you can see, my hair is very fluffy. I just washed and dried it. By the way, I know you keep seeing that red dress in the background. That's going to be for a vlog in 2 weeks time. I'm going to a Christmas party and I'm going to get dressed up. It's a work party that I've never been to before, so it's going to be super fun going out with some of the people. I've met a lot of people in work this year and I get on really well with a lot of them, so it's going to be a great night and I can't wait to just switch off for a night. But anyway, time to eat. So this meal in theory is quite dense. It is 50 grams of oats, 300 grams of 0% Greek yogurt, 200 grams of strawberries, 20 grams of fats from nut butter and dark chocolate. But I did make a couple of swaps here. So I'm still having my 50 grams of oats because I really enjoy them. But instead of making a big fluffy bowl of oats like I know I can do, I can make a big bowl of oats out of 50 grams. I actually just pour enough water just to cover them. I let them soak usually overnight, and then, now this is really hot, but I actually pop them in the air fryer. So you'll be able to see, I don't want to show you the toppings just yet, but you'll see it's quite a small amount of oats compared to like a big Pyrex bowl. And they're nice and crunchy at the top and they're all cakey inside. So it's kind of like, I kind of think of it like base of a cheesecake kind of. Then instead of 300 grams of yogurt, which I just find so much volume compared with the oats because it just expands, I do 200 grams and I do only 12 grams of protein powder. So I made a paste, poured it on top. Now I'm not saying substitute every like higher volume protein for whey, do not, because you will wreck your stomach, but like 12 grams really isn't a big deal. So today I've had a total of 42 grams of whey, which I know is quite a bit, but my stomach seems to be handling it pretty okay. So, and I only do that on leg days. On rest days I only have 30 grams of whey. Normal training days I have 60. Sorry, that means I had 72 grams of whey. I forgot about the other amount because I have 2 times 30 plus 12. Anyway, yeah, I did nut butter and dark chocolate, like I said. So I went in with pistachio dark chocolate for today. And then I went in, instead of almond butter, actually, I've been sometimes on a hype cashew butter. I love cashew butter. And I also got a package from Prozis with just some random bits today. So I got a new peanut butter that I'm going to try. I've got my trusty cashew. I got another one. And I stocked up on my 2 favorite sauces as well, the teriyaki and the maple. I usually put it into this meal as well, but with the whey paste, I don't really have enough space for any sugar-free sauces. And then lastly, instead of having 200 grams of strawberries, because I just find that it's so much volume, especially before bed, sometimes I actually have this meal as meal number 1 just to get it out of the way because of the volume of it. But since I managed to find ways to make it less volume, I have no problem getting it down before bed. But instead of 200 grams of strawberries, I'm having 100 grams of strawberries. I'm still eating my strawberries, and I'm not substituting every fruit in the diet for bananas, because bananas are kind of the lowest in micronutrients. So you still want to make sure you're getting your dose of berries. Like, you didn't see all of my food today, but I had 150 grams of strawberries meal 1. You saw meal 2, I had banana. You saw my post-workout, I had a mixture of banana and strawberries. And then my beef meal, I actually had 100 grams of just mixed berries on the side. Then I had the 100 grams of pineapple. And now we have 100 grams of strawberries and 50 grams of kiwi. So 50 grams of kiwi will equal about 100 grams of strawberries. So let me just flip. So you'll see I have kiwi in there with the whey paste, the strawberries, yogurt, dark chocolate, my mixture of nut butters. So unfortunately I do need 2 bowls for this. And then this dish is the air fried oats with just a little bit of the yogurt on top, a little bit of the fruit, a little bit of everything that I'd left over. So I just kind of split it up between the two. Another thing I could have added in here if I wanted to have a bit less oats maybe, or like, see, I don't want to be taking out fruit because it's good for my health, but I've been really craving something and it is healthy. It's not rice cakes or cereal. Sorry, my slipper fell off. I'm thinking of starting to implement it in maybe my either pre-workout meal on a leg day instead of honey, or post-workout when I have 120 grams of corned rice, and that's dates. I really enjoy dates and I always forget about them. They're still closed. I just got them yesterday, so I'm saving them for the week. I fell in love with dates in Dubai and I've been craving them ever since. Now, they might not be like white chocolate covered dates, but dates are dates. And these are pitted as well, so I don't have to worry about that. And like when you think about it, dates are 297 calories for 100 grams. I've seen some that are over 300. 68 carbs, 0.2 fat and 2.1 protein. So they're really, really good macros. But yeah, it's time for me to get this meal, take it to bed, watch a bit of Netflix and doze off. I have all my work done for today. You guys are about to die. So it is time to say goodnight. And I will see you tomorrow for a little bit of a chit chat. And if I think of anything that I forgot to mention today, I will just tell you tomorrow as well. Good night. If you're still here, make sure you like the video, comment, anything you want, just comment. Subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram, please. I really, really appreciate that. I would love to get to 1K subs in the new year. That is the goal. Hey guys, so I'm coming at you from the office. It is the next day. Today is Sunday, 1st of December. And I just want to say I had the most wholesome Sunday morning till noon. Definitely started the month the way I mean for it to go on, which is ticking the boxes and working towards my goals. So I got up this morning. I actually allowed myself to sleep till 7, which I know to some of you that's quite a normal time. For me, not so much because I get up at 4:30 every day. So allowing myself the 8 hours of sleep, or plus, actually nearly 9, really set me up for the day. And I told myself yesterday I might hit the gym today, might not, depending on how I feel, but I woke up feeling super good this morning. 7 o'clock, did my check-in, did my meal prep for tomorrow already, and then put myself together and took myself on a gym date by myself to a different gym. Now, still the same gym, but a different location, because we have 3 locations of the warehouse gym. So I went to a different location today. The gym was empty, so I'm going to take this opportunity for a little coaching plug. If you are looking to get ahead for 2025, now is really the perfect time. The gyms are literally empty because of how many people give up around this festive period. If you are someone that's a little bit anxious on going to the gym, you don't like big crowds, you're just scared, this is literally the perfect time to start because gyms are literally empty. This is literally the perfect time to get yourself familiar with the location, get yourself familiar with the machines, and maybe hire a PT or an online coach like myself to guide you along the transition into a new gym and just get ahead for 2025, because when all the crowds come in January with their New Year's resolutions, you're going to be at peace, you're going to know what you're doing, and the crowds will not bother you. So trust me, now is the perfect time to start. But anyway, so I took myself on a gym date, did my push session, so did tomorrow's session, meaning after work tomorrow I can come straight home and get to work on my laptop because I'm going to have a new client to set up that I have a consult call with today, and yeah, editing this vlog. So yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a busy evening. But I will have all the time in the world because I finish work at 3 o'clock. So I have the rest of the day tomorrow, which is fabulous. I then took myself on a date to Costa and I got the most perfect drink. I'm not going to insert a photo. I'm just going to pull the photo up on my phone and show you. So you can see it here. I got a oat milk latte with sugar-free gingerbread. And just a FYI, the gingerbread syrup in Costa is sugar-free. They only have the sugar-free. So even if you ask for gingerbread, it's still sugar-free, which is amazing. And then I got light whip on top. So it's actually vegan as well, which made my whole drink vegan and dairy-free, which is amazing. Because I tend to be careful with dairy. The only dairy that I have in my diet is Greek yogurt, which sits pretty well, and whey protein, which also sits pretty well, but I have no other dairy in my plan apart from that. Then I took myself on a walk down the town of Oranmore, where I used to live before I moved here. It's such a 5-minute drive away, but I never have time to just walk down the village, so I did that, and I picked up some bits for my off-plan meal tonight. So I'm going to cook myself a nice dinner. Nothing crazy, literally I'm going to do a chicken breast with like lighter than light mayo and then veg on top and a bit of cheese, and I'm going to air fry that, and then I'm going to have some potatoes, mashed potatoes on the side, alongside some fried beetroot from the Polish shop and tender stem broccoli, and I also got myself some protein ice cream. So it's going to be a good day of eating. I haven't actually eaten much today. All I had was the same pre-workout that I had yesterday, the bagel. So yeah, and now it is 20 to 2. I'm waiting for my dad to come over for a coffee, which is also going to be super nice. And yeah, thought I would kind of finish the vlog here for you today. Like I promised, I was going to kind of talk you through as to where I'm at in terms of body image. So I did take my check-in this morning. I'm going to insert it somewhere here, and I just talk through it a little bit. I am feeling a little bit on the chunkier side, let's say, especially with my lower body. I am super happy with how my upper body is looking, how tightish my waist has remained throughout this off season. Like, we're into week 18 tomorrow, which is a long time. And considering I am 18 weeks in, I have put on about 4 kilos, and it's really not a lot in over 4 months, about 4.5 months. It's really not a lot, but it is getting into my head a little bit. I think ever since the last food increase, because my food went up to 3,200 on a leg day, 2,700 on an upper body day, which is today, but it gives me a lot of calories, my off-plan, and 2,400 on a rest day. So that is the most food I have ever eaten in my life in a controlled manner, and I think that got to me a little bit, even though I had a weight jump when the food was increased, and then it kind of stabilized back down to like I'm hovering around 66.5 to 67.1 or 2. So depending on the day, it tends to go up after leg days, come down after rest days, the usual. Depending on my step count as well. If I go a bit over my steps, I tend to see a drop and things like that. But I think with my lower body, I'm just feeling a little heavy. Obviously I'm super happy with the progress I made with my glutes this year. They're definitely bigger. There's definitely new muscle tissue there. But I think I tend to hold a good bit of body fat in my legs, and you cannot put on muscle without putting on any body fat, and a lot of the body fat has definitely been distributed into my legs rather than my upper body, and I just feel very bottom heavy at the moment, and it has played into my confidence a little lately. I am feeling a little more self-conscious over the last 2-3 weeks, especially I think, maybe not in the gym. I actually feel really, really good in the gym, but I think it's outside of the gym setting is where I get a little bit self-conscious. Because obviously not everybody knows I'm a bodybuilder, and I know this is not the aesthetic everybody likes in a woman. Not everybody likes women that are a little bit bigger in terms of muscle. Not that I'm super muscly or anything like that, but sometimes I just do feel like, even though that's probably not the case, I feel like people are looking at me in the wrong way. And I'm actually a little nervous because I have a Christmas party in 2 weeks, like I mentioned. I have a beautiful dress with a big slit down the leg, literally up to nearly my crotch. So obviously my leg is going to be showing, which is super sexy, but being a little bit chunkier and at the very peak of my off season, I'm actually a little bit anxious to be around all my work friends, because at work, they don't tend to see much of me. We are gowned up at work. You can't really see me. You can see me from my knee down pretty much and nothing else. My hair is covered, I'm covered, my shoes are even covered, so the only thing you can really see in terms of what I'm wearing, how I'm looking, is from the knee down. So obviously they see pictures on Instagram, and they might see me when I'm walking out on break or whatever, but they've never really seen me dressed up with makeup and a dress that is fairly it exposes quite a good bit. Like my shoulders are going to be exposed, my back is going to be exposed, and obviously my leg is going to be exposed. So I am, for some reason, just feeling a little bit anxious about it. And you know, as long as my midsection maybe stays a bit tight that day, I'll be very happy. I will definitely pay a big attention to what I'm eating the day before and the day of. I'm not going to try to overdo it. I'm not going to cut calories, but I might, just like we did yesterday, I might cut down on the volume of food just to keep that midsection a little bit tighter, make myself feel a little bit better. Obviously have my hair done, have my makeup done, and it's going to be okay. But I'm not going to lie, I am feeling a little bit self-conscious. Like up until now, keep in mind, I've been living with someone who knows exactly what I'm doing. They understood the phases that I have to go through as a bodybuilder, both in prep and the off season. Now I'm obviously spending a little bit more time with people that are not in the bodybuilding world, whether it be at work or if I meet someone somewhere or whatever it may be, or friends that I've reached out to that I haven't seen in a while. And despite all the comments that I'm getting that I'm looking amazing, you know, sometimes a comment like that, it's cute, but it doesn't really do anything because of how I'm actually feeling anyway. And somebody telling me I look amazing isn't going to change how I'm feeling deep inside. And right now I am feeling just a little bit self-conscious. Self-esteem and confidence have dipped. But this is where I need to remind myself of what I remind all of my clients, and that is trust the process. If I was to stay comfortable, if I was to stay in my comfort zone, nothing would come out of that. And that is true. I wouldn't put on any muscle and I would step on stage next year looking the exact same. So this is where I need to remind myself to just trust the process. Whether I'm uncomfortable or not, you know, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable if you really want to change. And I do. I want to change. I want to improve my physique. I want to make sure that the next time I step on stage, I look nothing like what I did last year. And I think I've already achieved that. So right now it's just about refining it for the next 5 weeks, because that's what we've left of this off season, I think. So it's week 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. Keep in mind, a week of that is going to be Christmas. So we pretty much have 4 weeks of really trying to make the most improvements we can in the time that I've left. So yeah, I'm going to leave this vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hoped I helped some of you that are actually in the off season and not prep. And yeah, and stay tuned for the next vlog. I'm not sure what I'll be vlogging yet, but I will be vlogging, of course. I am still trying to get those videos out as much as I can. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting and being here. It really means a lot to me, especially right now. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I shall see you in the next one. Ciao! Also, if there's anything you are struggling on your fitness journey, on your bodybuilding journey, please let me know in the comments and I would be happy to help in future videos. Ciao!